Hey there folks, welcome to my channel today. So today I'm going to give you an overview of things that you should know, in my opinion, before coming to Vietnam. Okay, so this is the start of a new mini-series called Visiting Vietnam, and I'm going to start this off with what I think are the most important things to know before you come on holiday to Vietnam, or maybe to come here to consider living. So number one is visa, guys. Make sure you have the correct visa. I recently did a video about visas, and at the moment you can get a 30-day visa, which costs you $25 if you come from 80 countries. You can get a 15-day visa, which costs nothing, and this is available to 25 countries at present. So you can check the list of countries out in the link I listed below, guys, and I'll also link to my video about visas in Vietnam as well. If you're from Asian countries, so Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, countries like that, you can get between 21 and 30 days visa free, so you just get stamped on arrival and you don't need to get anything before you enter the country. So that's tip number one. Number two is the money, guys. So I would really recommend that you bring some of your home currency to Vietnam. So whether that's US dollar, British pound, euro, don't change hardly any money into Vietnamese dong before you come to Vietnam, because it's very, very easy to change money in Vietnam. So this would be my number one tip for you today, guys, is to bring money with you and change it in one of the gold shops or jewelry shops. So all over town in Hanoi, Saigon, Da Nang, in the big cities, there's gold shops and jewelers that you will be able to change money in. You can see above, I'm pointing out two gold shops here, one on the left and one on the right, and you can see people there doing their money exchange. And these places will give you a fantastic rate, much better than your home bank. Unfortunately, when you leave Vietnam, the currency is not widely accepted for exchange in many banks and places. So that works the other way as well. So when you're leaving Vietnam, guys, make sure you go to your gold shop and change your money back into your home currency. If you don't feel comfortable about going to a gold shop or jeweler, then your hotel will also change money. So I've stayed in many hotels in Vietnam, and pretty much all of them will exchange money for you. The rate might not be quite as good as the gold shop, but it's still much better than you probably get in your home country. So the next tip, guys, is to get a SIM card. Okay, so when you arrive at the airport, pick up a SIM card. It'll cost you a couple of dollars. Or if you don't need a SIM card straight away, or you want to wait till you get to your hotel should be able to provide you with a SIM card. You can pick one up in the 7-Eleven, at the Family Mart, at the supermarket. And it's a great idea because data is so cheap in Vietnam. It'll cost you $2-3 a month for, say, 3 or 4 gigabytes of data, and it'll be so handy, you know, for calling home, doing Skype calls, etc. And it really, really is a cheap and great way to stay in contact when you're on holiday. The other reason for getting a SIM card, and that takes me on to my next point, is the ability to download and use the Grab app. So Grab is like Uber on steroids. It's absolutely fantastic. Grab can be used to book taxis, motorbikes, deliver food from pretty much all the restaurants around your hotel or where you're staying. You can also shop online at supermarkets, so you can choose whatever you like and Grab will deliver it to you for the cost of about $1, guys, and it'll be delivered in an hour or so. And it's an awesome app, and I would absolutely recommend that you get Grab. So my next point would be, if you're coming for 2-3 weeks on holiday, don't book tours before you arrive, okay? So I hear stories about people paying like $150 or $100 per person to do a tour to the Mekong or a tour of Ho Chi Minh City. And then when they arrive, they find out that actually the cost of this is only $15, $20, maybe at the most $30 per person, okay? So don't book tours from outside the country. Just book your accommodation from outside, and then when you arrive in Vietnam, you'll very, very easily be able to book tours, whether that's just walking around, going into the travel agents or the tour guide shops, or through your hotel, and it'll be so much cheaper for you to do it that way. So my next tip, guys, is health insurance, and make sure you get good insurance with repatriation benefit, because in Vietnam you have government hospitals and then you have international hospitals. As a foreigner, you probably won't be allowed to use the public or government hospitals without being a resident in Vietnam. So you'll be left with using the international hospitals, which can be quite expensive, especially for emergency care, and they're unlikely to treat you without you paying up front, okay? So if you have an accident or you have some kind of medical issue, make sure you have good insurance, and you should be covered then for any kind of problems that arise. And if the worst were to happen, they would then cover you for repatriation back to your home country with it, which is an important point to consider. My next point, guys, is to dress appropriately at temples, pagodas, government buildings. So what does dress appropriately mean? Well, it means to cover bare skin as much as possible, so shoulders, legs, so no short skirts, things like that for the ladies, and no kind of shorts and tank tops or vests for the guys. It is a bit annoying, for example, if you go out on a tour and you've traveled say an hour and then you get to a temple and then you won't be allowed in because you're not dressed appropriately. That could ruin your day. So be aware and be mindful of the appropriate dress when you're visiting these type of buildings. But don't worry, the rest of the country is fine. You can wear whatever you like. It's just for these kind of more formal buildings that it is preferred that you wear clothes that cover up your skin a bit more. Another point I would like to talk about is renting a motorbike. So you see on YouTube a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people going around Vietnam on motorbikes, maybe from Hanoi to Saigon or Saigon to Hanoi. It's a very popular route, but it's very dangerous, guys. I mean, even if you drive a motorbike in your home country and you have a motorbike license, you really need to be careful about driving on the roads here. The rules of the road here are totally different, and it can be very, very dangerous and crazy at times, especially at night time. So really, really think carefully about renting a motorbike. If you do rent a motorbike, don't leave your passport, okay? Leave some sort of monetary deposit instead of a passport, and make sure the bike is in good condition, and bring along at the least an international driving permit with your home license, especially if that shows that you do have a motorbike license, okay? It is a little bit of a grey area, the international driving permit. I've heard of some police in some provinces accepting it. I've heard of other police saying, nope, you need to have a Vietnamese license only. So look into that one a bit more, guys, but just be very careful before renting a bike and traveling around Vietnam. So my next point to know about is the weather, okay? So the best weather in Vietnam is subjective, really. It depends what you like. Some people don't mind a bit of rain, some people hate it, some people just want scorching, roaring sunshine all the time. So Vietnam is a tropical monsoon climate, and the weather does vary a lot between the south, the middle, and the north. So check online and try to match up your travel schedule with what you personally consider is the best weather for you. Some of the central towns, especially Da Nang, are subject to monsoons, and it can get pretty wet there from November through to end of January. So I wouldn't recommend visiting the central areas from November to January. Hanoi can get very, very hot, like almost touching 40 degrees, and the same for Saigon as well. So that's pretty uncomfortable, and it can get very humid as well. So make sure you check the weather history before you book and try to come when the weather is more suited to your taste. My final point of today, guys, is to embrace the nap. So in Vietnamese culture and Asian culture in general, things kind of shut down for at least an hour at lunchtime. So between 11:30 and 1 or 12 and 2, for example, a lot of people take a nap, a lot of shops close, and things kind of slow down for that part of the day. It's just part of the culture here, and you've got to embrace it. Don't get frustrated if you come here and things are not open, or you can't go to a government office, or the pagoda is closed, for example, because that's just the pace of life and the way things work here. So people tend to get up very early here to avoid the sun. They work very hard in the morning, have a little nap at lunchtime, and then work very hard in the afternoon. So just bear that in mind, guys, and don't let that spoil your holiday, and don't get frustrated, because it can be unexpected if you're coming from European countries, for example. Okay, guys, great. I hope that helps you if you're thinking of visiting Vietnam in the near future, maybe this year or next year. I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. I love living here, and many other people do too. So I hope my tips have helped you today, guys. If they have, please subscribe to my channel, like the video. It all helps me to progress and to improve my content for you. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. See you soon.